What is going on, you guys? Petplatypus here, and it is time to talk about Dragon Ball Super Episode 49. This episode of Dragon Ball Super, motherfucking Super Saiyan 2 Trunks. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's just dive into the technical aspects of this episode. If we're talking about the pacing was really solid in this one. It moved from scene to scene very nicely. The story progression and everything was told very nicely. There weren't any really long stare downs. Even when Goku and Trunks were staring each other down, it was showing the chaotic nature of what's happening around them when they have so much power in one populated area. So that was fine. So overall, in terms of pacing, the episode moved very nicely. We get that scene with Goku Black. He travels to the past and everything. So yeah, I mean, that took like the whole episode. He did it in like the middle of the episode. He arrived at the end. Whatever, anime logic, anime time, doesn't matter. Maybe he did take that long traveling through his little wormhole, who knows. But regardless of that, the pacing overall in this episode was good. In terms of story progression, we didn't get anything major, like leaps and bounds. We had chess pieces being moved around. Bulma finding the book from her future self so she can construct a new time machine and everything, or fix this current time machine. That's a chess piece being moved around. Trunks explaining everything to everybody. Goku Black arriving at the end. Pieces were moved around. There was story progression. It was just nothing. It was just nothing major. It was just little pieces being moved around. But the story progression was still solid. And then in terms of animation, it was good. Once again, the animation was good. I wouldn't say it was as good as last week's episode, but it was still really solid. The rapid punch from Trunks looked pretty nice. I like the choreography. I like when Goku fucking blocks the sword with two fingers. Going Super Saiyan 3. I didn't know if we were going to see Super Saiyan 3 again, to be honest, but we did get to see it. It was pretty badass. Trunks can go Super Saiyan 2. Confirmed. That's really, really cool. I thought that was awesome. Another piece of story progression, maybe not story progression because it happened in the past, but I like that they explained that the Majin Buu stuff actually did happen, but Trunks was able to prevent it. I'm sure there's, fans of the series that are going to be pissed that it didn't follow the Shin Budokai storyline with the Majin Buu shit, but fuck off. But yeah, he's able to prevent Majin Buu. I thought that was a nice little tidbit, a nice little addition there. And how strong was Dabura? Like as strong as Cell or something? I forget if there was ever a confirmation about how strong Dabura was. But Trunks was able to beat him. And Trunks does learn how to go Super Saiyan 2, so that makes sense that he would be able to beat someone like that. But Goku Black, whole nother animal. Too fucking strong for Trunks. Trunks can't handle him. And he can't handle Super Saiyan 3 Goku. That was obvious. Super Saiyan 3 Goku gives him that, what was it, a punch or a kick, and smashes him into the ground, and Goku's like, no, you cool, dude? You okay? That was funny. And he knew it took that one shot, too. He powered down as he was flying down. He was like, yeah, that was it. Trunks is down. That was kind of funny. Not in like a that was supposed to be funny kind of way, but just how quickly he made Trunks look like a bitch. That was very funny. But regardless of all that, joking aside, the episode did have the solid story progression. It did have solid pacing. It did have solid animation. All around, this is a very good episode of Dragon Ball Super. This is probably, honestly, the animation we've been getting for like the past 3 episodes of this arc. This is the animation we should have had throughout the entire series. And there have been bursts of animation like this, for sure. But it should have been consistently like this. Considering the fact that, well, I mean, clearly Dragon Ball Super is probably not going to be on a seasonal budget anymore, because it's probably going to keep going and going. So even if you want to take out seasonal and say it's just weekly, even if you compare it to other weekly series like One Piece and like other series, they have consistently better animated scenes throughout their run than Dragon Ball Super was having. But I'm glad that this arc has looked very nice. I'm glad the end of the tournament, probably from like, I want to say Vegeta versus the big dude, but maybe right after, like probably like Vegeta versus Kaba, actually. Vegeta versus Kaba to now has all been really, really solid in terms of animation. With, like those filler episodes being a little bit whatever, but, they're filler. So yeah, I really, really thought this was a great episode. Maybe not great. I'd say it was definitely a very good episode, though. And yeah, I like seeing, just from as a Dragon Ball fan, I like seeing Trunks be able to go Super Saiyan 2. I like the little tidbit with Dabura and Babidi. I thought that was a nice detail they didn't have to touch at all. But yeah, it had nice little bits of comedy in there. Pilaf Gang still kind of hit and miss, but they worked okay. It's kind of funny how they're like allies now. Also, Kid Trunks gets confirmation that that is him from the future, so that little thing is over. That little fucking, oh, are they brothers thing? It was just the Pilaf Gang fucking around, but I'm glad they ended that joke very quickly. And yeah, nothing really else to ramble about. It was just an overall solid episode of Dragon Ball Super. I enjoyed it. So, with all that being said, I'm going to give this episode an 8 out of 10. I thought it was a very good episode of Dragon Ball Super. Also, with Goku Black showing up at the end, and him and Goku are gonna fight in the next episode. The animation looked really good. We'll just have to wait and see if those were just the quick moments they wanted to cut in for the preview, or if the overall animation is gonna be very good. We'll just have to wait and see. But hopefully it is badass. I don't think it's going to be the final fight between them, so the animation doesn't need to be spectacular, but of course it still needs to be good, and it looks like it will be. But that's just my brief thoughts on the preview. Like I said, 8 out of 10 for this episode, and that's pretty much all I have to say. So, what did you guys think of this episode of Dragon Ball Super? You can tell me in the comments section below. You can also follow me on Instagram or add me on PSN. I'm petplatypus on both. I gotta figure out something to do for Instagram, because I never post things, and I always tell you to follow me. I'm gonna try and maybe tie it into my YouTube videos, but I'll give an update on that at some point later. Anyways, like I said, follow me on Instagram, add me on PSN, I'm petplatypus on both. You can also give this video a thumbs up and share it on social media. Both of those would help me out a lot. Subscribe if you haven't already, or if you like what you've seen here. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.